Welcome to the John and Heidi Show podcast.
John and Heidi.
Here's John and Heidi.
Today is a special day, Heidi. Do you know what today is?
What is today, John?
I thought you'd never ask, Heidi. It is Thursday, the 26th day of September. Today is Alpaca Day. I do not have an alpaca, but I've met alpacas. They're kind of cool.
You've met alpacas?
I've met some alpacas.
Okay.
Better Breakfast Day today. I made Heidi a better breakfast today, too.
You
I didn't
did.
even know I was doing the like a special thing. It's National Chimichanga Day. Is that what we're having for dinner?
I like chimichangas.
I do, too. It's National Pancake Day. Oh, man, we blew that. It is also National Johnny Appleseed Day. He was a real guy. You know that? And National Compliance Officer Day today. So if you're a compliance officer, just be nice to everybody today and, give them a warning. How's that sound? All of those things happening, and many others as well. But I have a Dear John letter. And the Dear John letter is kind of a weird situation. A guy who might quite possibly start dating his brother's ex-wife. There's a lot more. You think that's weird?
Okay.
There's even more to it than that. You can read the Dear John letter and chime in at facebook.com/John and Heidi Show.
Charlie has Parkinson's. Recently, Charlie started wearing a bracelet from VitaTech Healing.
I'm an avid golfer, and I was going to give it up this year. I just deteriorated that much. Now I'm back to golfing, enjoying it, having a good time. I just can't stress enough how good it is.
Click on radiosavings.com to hear more of Charlie's story and find out how VitaTech Healing is helping others with ADHD, fibromyalgia, autism, and more. Plus, find radio-only savings by clicking the link at radiosavings.com. That's radiosavings.com.
Now, surveys and studies and such brought to you by bettercreditcards.com. Researchers at the University of Massachusetts Amherst say they've come up with an innovative way to protect yourself from sweaty, uncomfortable, even unhealthy, endangered experience of being outside during a heat wave. Clothes that physically cool down your body. In a quest to develop a cooler fabric, they coated fabric tiles with calcium carbonate, the main component in limestone and chalk. The coating was then used to both reflect the sun's energy back into the atmosphere and allow the wearer's natural body heat to escape. During tests in scorching summer heat, they found it reduced temperatures under the clothing by 8 degrees compared to the air and up to 15 degrees compared to untreated fabrics. So apparently,
Wonder if that's safe, though.
I don't know. Kind of reminds me of Back to the Future 2 when he got his jacket wet and it
Dried, yeah.
dry and complete. So that's what I thought of at first, but it doesn't have a fan built in. It instead is just made of some magical fabric that we'll later find out gives you some sort of problem.
That's what I was just wondering about,
Surveys
actually.
and studies and such brought to you by bettercreditcards.com.
If you want a better credit card, it can be easy and not so hard. Bettercreditcards.com. Earn more points or get more perks. Get what you're looking for in a card that works. Bettercreditcards.com. Give yourself a little credit. Bettercreditcards.com. Give yourself a little credit. Bettercreditcards.com.
That's bettercreditcards.com.
Did you know? Brought to you by Genesis Gold, IRA.com. Heidi, did you know that according to a survey, 1 in 10 wish they gave their kid a different name?
Really?
Yeah, a poll of 450 parents from Baby Center found 15% actually now prefer to address their child by a nickname or by their middle name. 20% feel the child's name is too long, so they call him by a nickname. The good news, 21% of moms say they regretted their child's name in the first year. Only 6%, though, had doubts after that. So if you've gotten along after a year, you're probably good.
I have
6%
never regretted the kids' names.
were so put off by the name, they had it legally changed.
Whoa,
So, yeah.
that is so weird.
Yeah, that is very weird.
You got 9 months to figure it out.
I know.
It's,
Wait a minute, I had a baby. Although we did know somebody who had a surprise baby
That is
once.
true.
All right, we don't know everything, but now we know this.
John and Heidi.
Now, big screen, little screen, brought to you by radiosavings.com. Jeff Bridges has one name in mind that he wanted to be called when he became a granddad on Good Morning America. The Big Lebowski star said he wanted his grandkids to just call him Dude Pa.
Dude Pa.
Or Duty.
Duty.
So I don't know.
That's
I don't know if you want
hilarious.
to go with Duty. That's yeah. And Ricky Gervais lost a battle to demolish his flood-prone mansion. This has been interesting. So he wants to knock this thing down and like build a new one, and the people of the community will not let him. I don't quite understand.
So
that.
what? He's got to have some
I don't know.
moldy, nasty
I don't know.
house?
I don't know exactly what's going on. I've got a link to the story, though. And it looks like Emily's visa has been extended. Netflix has renewed Emily in Paris for a 5th season. It says season 4, part 2 was just out recently, so I don't know when the 5th season is, but I've got all the details in the show notes for today at johnandheidishow.com.
Charlie has Parkinson's. He started wearing a bracelet from Vitatech Healing, and he's noticed a difference even while sleeping.
Once I got in bed, I couldn't roll over. I couldn't move. I was just whatever position I was in, just a chore to get out of bed. And now everything is so much better.
Click on radiosavings.com to hear more of Charlie's story and find out how Vitatech Healing is helping others with ADHD, fibromyalgia, autism, and more. Plus, find radio-only savings by clicking the link at radiosavings.com. That's radiosavings.com.
Now your scoop of the day comes your way, courtesy of bettercreditcards.com. A study found that 75% of women wish their partner held their hand more often.
We've actually had this discussion.
I'm not a hand holder.
Yeah.
It just feels weird to me.
Huh.
It feels like you're, I don't know. And I don't mind, like, there are times that we'll go for a walk and I'll hold your hand, but it almost feels forced. It just, I don't know what, it just seems weird to me.
Huh.
Yeah, sorry.
Oh, yeah. Well.
I'll put my arm around you, though. I like that. That's nice. It's just weird holding.
When you're walking?
Yeah, that's that.
No,
I do that. Put me on a leash. That feels more normal to me than being held. Like you're holding my hand. I'm like, what is going on here? It just feels weird.
Wow.
Let's move on to this. If you, I'm so sorry. It's not you. It's me. Do you see me holding hands with other people?
You better not.
I'm not. I'm just not. All right, moving on. I'm going to turn the page and never go back to that. You don't hear of this happening often, but a company announced record profits and immediately outlined plans to decrease their profits by going green.
What?
That's what's happening with Lego. Lego's profits, this is at a time when people are struggling, by the way, to buy things like, everything, including toys and Legos. The profits increased 26% over the first half of the year to $1.2 billion with a B, while revenue jumped 13% to nearly $5 billion. Now they're planning for increased costs in the future as they pledge to make all of their products from renewable and recycled materials by 2032.
Well, I think that's a great goal. It's great to use the materials that are out there. I love that.
Objectives include switching out raw virgin plastics with renewable resin, which comes from bio-waste like cooking oil. 40 to 60% more expensive, though, than plastic made from crude oil. The Lego's latest
the cost of Legos are going to go up.
Probably.
Yep.
Their latest attempt to make an iconic brick without the use of fossil fuels. Thanks to a recent profit boom, Nels Christensen said the company will absorb all costs stemming from these changes instead of passing them on to the consumer.
Wow, okay. Well, that's commendable. I like that.
That is commendable. So, or you could lower the price. I'm just saying. Scoop of the day comes your way, courtesy of bettercreditcards.com.
Can your IRA or 401k stand up to the next financial crisis? By allocating a percentage of your retirement into physical gold and silver with a tax-free rollover, you can diversify and safeguard your holdings from turbulent markets and economic downturns. Safeguard your assets with a tax-free rollover with a Genesis Gold IRA, the only IRA that can hold physical precious metals. Protect your retirement today with a simple phone call and receive your free gold and silver guide. Call 1-800-200-GOLD or visit genesisgoldira.com.
It's time right now for Dear John Letters.
Dear John.
All right. I got a bizarre Dear John letter this week.
Okay. I like bizarre.
I know you do. This might even be too weird for you, but here we go. Dear John, I have a weird situation possibly happening. 20 years ago, when I was in high school, I dated a girl. We were pretty sure we were going to get married. But when I left for college, she began dating my younger brother. He is her age. They ended up getting married and have 3 kids together. I was very happy for them, and our families are close. I married my college sweetheart, and we had 2 kids. Sadly, my wife passed away in 2019 after she battled cancer for a few years. So here's where things get a little weird. My brother and his wife separated last year. A month ago, they got divorced. I've stayed in touch with both of them because our kids are cousins, and they get along great.
I would hope he stayed in touch with his brother.
Yeah, well, everybody stayed in touch with her, too.
Right.
Last week, when I was picking up my boys, I had a conversation with my brother's ex-wife. She was suggesting that we get back together. We've always gotten along. I've never stopped loving her, but she's my former sister-in-law now. Just seems to be something weird about this. I told her I'm not ready to date anyone right now, but I offered to hang out with her and the kids for some family fun nights. I've not talked to my brother about any of this. He always told me that his wife was more in love with me than with him. I'm not sure how he would feel about us dating. Should I talk to him? Is all of this weird to you too? Signed, Big Brother. So it is odd. Again, you pointed that out, so it's not like I'm hurting anybody's feelings saying it's odd. But when it comes right down to it, if they're divorced, if she's single, if you're single, it's not like you couldn't do that. And if your brother said all along, she's in love with you and she's settled for me or whatever he's saying, I don't think that anybody would be surprised. Would it be weird? Yeah, probably. And then, you have kids and she has kids. They're cousins. If you guys were all together, they would be like siblings, cousins. So that would be kind of odd. Now, I'm going to tell you, I know this kind of stuff happens all the time. So it's not like this has never happened before. Maybe you find somebody who's been down this road. And if you, listening, if you have been down this path, you can chime in on our Facebook page. Heidi's just got a weird look on her face over here. What's going on?
I wouldn't touch that with a 10-foot pole. No way.
I'm saying it seems odd. But if these two...
If you value your relationship with your brother, you will not go down that road.
Yeah, and again, I think that that's probably something to take into consideration too.
And something else to think about. Would you want to be intimately connected to somebody who was intimately connected to your brother?
Well, I kind of got a feeling...
I mean,
kind of got a feeling they were before the brother and this girl started dating. Because, they dated in high school and they thought they were going to get married. Then he went off to college and she's younger and she ended up staying with the younger brother instead. So
I wouldn't go anywhere near that. Christmas, every holiday would be so uncomfortable.
It would be.
I can't even imagine what that would do to the family.
Yeah. But think about this. So the younger brother, how awkward was it that he started dating his older brother's girlfriend as soon as he left for college?
They must have broken up, and he was at college, and it's
same
totally
thing.
different if they didn't get married, they didn't have children, because like you said, now all of a sudden cousins are siblings and uncles are dads, and oh my gosh,
cats are marrying dogs, and dogs are marrying cats.
No, avoid that. You'll be much happier if you do.
It's just oh yeah, I don't know. It's a circus is what we've got going here. No, I again, as much as Heidi's advice is wonderful, I love that advice. The whole don't touch that with a 10-foot pole. I think you should put that on a T-shirt. That's such a wonderful thing. I would love to hear from somebody who's been down this road because I know some people. I personally know somebody who had something similar to this go on. It was him. And when he and his wife got divorced, then he started dating her sister. And for a short while, all of her kids and all of his kids were living together. It was odd. They didn't last very long. So I don't, again, that's not my perspective. That's my friend's perspective. And that didn't work very long. And then it was a big mess for everybody involved. But I think that those sisters are still, 20 years later, still not talking to each other.
Yeah, see, that's what I'm saying.
So,
the family dynamic.
Something to keep in mind. If you would like to chime in with your advice, you can do that at facebook.com/Jon and Heidi Show.
Charlie has Parkinson's. Recently, Charlie started wearing a bracelet from Vitatech Healing.
I'm an avid golfer, and I was going to give it up this year. I just deteriorated that much. Now I'm back to golfing, enjoying it, having a good time. I just can't stress enough how good it is.
Click on radiosavings.com to hear more of Charlie's story and find out how Vitatech Healing is helping others with ADHD, fibromyalgia, autism, and more. Plus, find radio-only savings by clicking the link at radiosavings.com. That's radiosavings.com.
Fun fact for you, Heidi.
What's that, John?
It takes approximately 12 hours for food to entirely digest. I didn't know that. Fun fact for you, Heidi.
What's that, John?
The quietest room in the world is in Minnesota. It is measured in negative decibels. It's so quiet that you can hear your heartbeat and your bones move.
I would not like that at all.
Me neither. And you notice that quietest room in the world is nowhere near me because I'm loud. Fun fact for you, Heidi.
What's that, John?
J.K. Rowling invented Quidditch in a pub. So I didn't know that was even a thing. I didn't know. And our final, I got two more. Fun fact for you, Heidi.
What's that, John?
Ketchup leaves the bottle at a rate of 25 miles per year.
Yeah, I remember that our government paid for this study.
Yeah, you know the important things. And our final fun fact for you, Heidi.
What's that, John?
Coffee is most effective if it is consumed between 9:30 a.m. and 11:30 a.m.
Okay.
According to a report from somebody who has a coffee break between 9:30 and 11:30. Several fun facts. Now you know. Thanks for listening to the John and Heidi Show.
If you want a better credit card, it can be easy and not so hard. BetterCreditCards.com. Earn more points and get more perks. Get what you're looking for in a card that works. BetterCreditCards.com. Give yourself a little credit. BetterCreditCards.com. Give yourself a little credit. BetterCreditCards.com.
That's BetterCreditCards.com.
Time now for the Mint Mobile question of the day. It comes your way courtesy of Mintervention.com. Question for you, Heidi. Stats show that over 70% of us do this at least once per week while driving. What is it? We did
Put on
3 in a row last week.
Oh, we did. Okay, I don't know then.
Run a red light. Now, I'll say, when I got into the intersections when it turned red. Yeah.
And when you say we,
you were
I'm
with
in the
me.
passenger side.
You were with me because you're the one that pointed out. You're like, that was not yellow anymore. I'm like, well, it was red after I entered the intersection. But yeah, so 70% do it once a week. I did 3 in a day. Mint Mobile question of the day comes your way courtesy of Mintervention.com.
Charlie has Parkinson's. He started wearing a bracelet from Vitatech Healing, and he's noticed a difference even while sleeping.
Once I got in bed, I couldn't roll over. I couldn't move. I was just whatever position I was in, just a chore to get out of bed. And now everything is so much better.
Click on radiosavings.com to hear more of Charlie's story and find out how Vitatech Healing is helping others with ADHD, fibromyalgia, autism, and more. Plus, find radio-only savings by clicking the link at radiosavings.com. That's radiosavings.com.
Time now for some weird news, brought to you by WeirdGiftOfTheDay.com. We talked about Legos earlier in the program because they have like these record profits. We're going to talk about Legos again because an Arizona resident recently removed a Lego piece from his nose after 3 decades.
Oh.
Andy Norton goes by the name Ben Havoc, 32-year-old. What? All right. 32-year-old explained in a social media post how they shoved a Lego dot piece up their nose back in the 1990s when they were about 6 years young, and they didn't realize that it never came out. Andy explained that for years they had endured multiple breathing issues, including asthma, and they were recently diagnosed with obstructive sleep apnea until blowing their nose while in the shower.
Ew.
And it says, I cannot breathe out of this side of my nose. And now, boom, fantastic. They captioned, I can smell colors now.
Whoa.
So, what a beautiful picture all of that was. It's weird news, brought to you by WeirdGiftOfTheDay.com.
John and Heidi.
Time now for The List, brought to you by BetterCreditCards.com. What people want to kill the most. According to Google Trends, these are the most common internet searches by people in the United States over the last 2 decades that begin with how to kill, number 1 on the list. I don't know if this is the top one. It says ants, how to kill fleas, how to kill flies, how to kill bed bugs, how to kill fruit flies, lice, gnats, bees, roaches, and mites.
Fruit flies.
So those things are all pretty benign, right?
Yeah.
All right, let's get to the weird stuff now. I don't understand why there would be more than one person that would ever do this, but apparently some interesting things that hit the list. How to kill a lobster. Okay. How to kill mockingbirds. Yeah, not kidding.
Aww.
How to kill time. I get that one. How to kill, chillingly, how to kill someone. Yeah, that was somebody's Google search.
Well, back in the day, before people started watching Forensic Files and stuff, there were lots of people who were caught because of their Google searches for...
they were searching how to do it.
Yeah,
So,
yeah. It's not smart.
So do that from the library is what... No, don't do it at all is what Heidi's saying. All right, The List, brought to you by BetterCreditCards.com.
Can your IRA or 401k stand up to the next financial crisis by allocating a percentage of your retirement into physical gold and silver with a tax-free rollover? You can diversify and safeguard your holdings from turbulent markets and economic downturns. Safeguard your assets with a tax-free rollover with a Genesis Gold IRA, the only IRA that can hold physical precious metals. Protect your retirement today with a simple phone call and receive your free gold and silver guide. Call 1-800-200-GOLD or visit genesisgoldira.com.
Time now for the quote of the day. It comes your way courtesy of radiosavings.com. Our quote today is from Thomas Edison. Tom Edison says, most people miss the opportunity because they dress in overalls and pretend to work.
Yeah.
And others steal everyone else's patents.
There you go.
Hey, I only said it because if I didn't say it, somebody would say that for me. So there you go. I've got nothing against Thomas Edison, but I had him as my quote of the day one other time and got a lot of hate on that one. So there's people that don't like him, apparently. Quote of the day comes your way, courtesy of radiosavings.com. This portion of the John and Heidi Show is brought to you by the John and Heidi Show. That sounds kind of funny, but it's true. Go to your local radio station and ask them to start carrying the John and Heidi Show. Here's the best part. They can carry the show for free. They play a couple commercials, but it doesn't cost them anything every month. So if you know a radio station that could use a little bit of help, send them our way. Send them to johnandheidishow.com. Again, johnandheidishow.com. We would love to do a radio program in your community. Then you could listen to the podcast and listen to us on the radio.
John and Heidi.
We always like to wrap things up around here with good news, and I think this is good news. It comes your way courtesy of GenesisGoldIRA.com. And I think this is a pretty good story right here. A loyal dog runs after an ambulance that was carrying the owner. EMS stopped to let the dog in. How cool is that they stopped?
Oh,
This happened in Colombia.
poor
Heartwarming display of
baby,
devotion.
so worried about its owner.
Yeah. Loyal dog in Colombia made headlines after the dog was chasing the ambulance down the street.
Love that.
And they finally go, hey, this dog is still back here. So they stopped. The dog's owner fell ill and required urgent medical attention. As paramedics transported the man, the dog refused to be left behind. Determined to stay with his beloved human, the dog managed to escape from the house and ran after the speeding ambulance. It wasn't long before the EMS team finally said, you know what? Let's just let him in.
I seriously love dogs.
Moved by the dog's loyalty, they decided to stop the ambulance, open the door, and let that hound join them.
Love it.
He accompanied the owner the remainder of the journey, never leaving his side during the medical emergency. The touching act of devotion highlights the deep bond between animals and their humans, reminding us that unbreakable connection that love creates. So I think that's really, really nice. Here's the thing that's cool. It's on video. Somebody caught that on video. So if you'd like to see a link to that story, I do have a link to it in the show notes for today at johnandheidishow.com. Time to say goodbye, Heidi.
Goodbye, Heidi.
Goodbye, everybody. Have a great day. Thank you for listening to The John and Heidi Show.